commits rolling in this summer for Iowa football. The 2024 class looking pretty darn solid, and Iowa doing great things with their most recent big official visit weekend. We'll talk about Joseph Anderson, who recently committed to the Hawkeyes, in just a second. And yes, there's plenty of Hawkeye topics coming, so be sure to hit that subscribe button before you forget, right here from the Hawkeye of the Storm. But first, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Ascent Nutrition. They have been with us for about a year now, and we appreciate Lance Shuttler. He's a Hawkeye fan. He's a Hawkeye graduate. Lance Shuttler, owner of Ascent Nutrition. Check out their new Lion's Mane mushroom powder. Support your memory, focus, mental clarity, blood sugar, and even your immune system function with their new Lion's Mane mushroom powder. It's available with a discount via our show here from the Hawkeye of the Storm. Log on to goascentnutrition.com. Again, that's goascentnutrition.com. Check out their many products, including their Lion's Mane mushroom powder, and use the code Hawkeyes for 15% off your order. Again, that's the code Hawkeyes, plural, for 15% off your total order, courtesy of our sponsor for today's video. That's Lance Shuttler and Ascent Nutrition. So the Hawkeyes landing defensive end Joseph Anderson here recently, a 6'5", 210-pound edge rusher from Westminster Christian Academy in the St. Louis area. Iowa doing really well in the big city regions. Of course, they've really secured the border here in the state of Iowa. They've dominated in-state recruiting in 2024. I had a conversation with someone over from SB Nation, Iowa State's SB Nation site the other day, with Mark Rogers over on our Tuesday 4:30 p.m. show, just to discuss recruiting. And is there some concern from Cyclone fans? And if there is, it seems like it's being covered up right now. I would be very concerned if I'm a Cyclone fan and I see the number of recruits in the 2024 class who have snubbed Iowa State. According to 247 Sports Rankings, not one of the top 12 recruits from the state of Iowa have picked the Cyclones. But that's a discussion for another day, I guess. But Joseph Anderson won just outside of the state, down in St. Louis, according to his Huddle bio. And again, we're trusting the numbers that Joseph Anderson posted to his Huddle bio. He runs a 4.7 40-yard dash and an 11.1 100-meter time. It's a pair of really good numbers, if accurate. Again, at 6'5", 210, he is a freight train when he gets out in the field. He's going to get bigger from 210. I'm sure he's going to want to be in the 250 range. I would think at Iowa, maybe bigger. Really good speed and athleticism for a guy his size. As I said, he runs like a freight train, and he just does not run like he's 6'5". He has got a motor, and you can tell he's got the athleticism to probably play on either side of the ball. The way he runs, I could almost see him lining up as a tight end at Iowa. He physically looks the part. I don't know the last time Iowa's had. I guess Noah Fant was recruited as a defensive end. I think I'd have to go back to Noah's recruitment. I know he was being looked at by a lot of schools as an edge rusher. He ended up being a first-round draft pick at tight end from the University of Iowa. But Joseph Anderson has that type of a look, and size at 6'5", 210 pounds. He's a really good athlete Iowa will be able to work with. He will need to develop his pass rushing abilities, his pass rushing moves as he gets to Iowa. Kelvin Bell, and I'm sure Jay Neiman, assuming he's still a part of this staff, that he hasn't retired by the time Joseph Anderson reports. Those two guys will help Joseph acquire some more moves in the pass rush game if he indeed sticks along that defensive line, which I would anticipate that he would. By the way, quick note on Joseph Anderson. His father, Benny Anderson, was a really, really good football player. Look up Benny Anderson, former NFL player, and you'll see quite a track record and quite a bloodline for Joseph. Joseph's brother, plays at Yale. His other brother plays at Eastern Michigan. So it's very similar to Seth Anderson, the Charleston Southern wide receiver transfer that's now at Iowa. Really good bloodlines. Everybody in his family, they've all played Division I college football. And like I said, Benny Anderson was a really good football player. I believe most of his career was played with the Ravens. Another note on Joseph, really good long jumper and hurdler. So again, that just it all fits into the discussion and the conclusion that this is a really good athlete Iowa is getting, and one they could probably move around if need be. But at 6'5", 210, I'm sure his frame is conducive to being able to pack on quite a few pounds and quite a bit of muscle. And once they do that, they'll be able to use him effectively. And 24, 25, those years now, if you look at guys like Joseph Anderson, Kenneth Merriweather, you look at guys like Ontario Thompson, assuming he's still around, Aaron Graves, assuming he's still around. They've got some really interesting guys, like athleticism wise, maybe a different level of athlete. Maybe not your typically big defensive lineman as a whole, but guys like Graves, who was an edge rusher coming out of high school, is packed on some pounds and will play on the inside. Ontario Thompson is a big dude at like 300, 310 pounds. I don't know. These other guys, though, just really good athletes, and it's going to provide even more ability to be flexible and run guys in different spots, as Kelvin Bell and Phil Parker like to do. So really excited about Joseph Anderson, a guy with great bloodlines, football bloodlines, and he'll make the trek up from St. Louis as part of that 2024 class. He'll sign. We expect him to sign in December. So again, lots of content coming your way, folks. We've got basketball reaction with the Jack McCaffrey situation that I think we can finally address now that it's public. We've got some sellouts for Iowa Hawkeye football games that have recently been announced, and more recruiting videos coming. It's July 20th here from the Hawkeye of the Storm. Stay tuned. Lots of coverage as we count down the days, not only to Big Ten Media Days, Fall Camp, and Kids Day, but the start of the 2023 Iowa Hawkeye football season. We'll talk to you soon.